to episode 5, and last episode was a lot of fun. We had James Delos and the Host Human Project going down in flames. Elsie was alive, and her and Bernard uncovered him during his last moments. We had William and Lawrence taking out the last of the Confederados. Good riddance. And they're riding along towards the valley beyond with some villagers that they saved. And looking forward to this episode because we'll continue with Teddy and Dolores' story. But what I'm most looking forward to is Samurai World. We have Maeve, Lee, Sizemore, I almost said Lee Scoresby, Lee Sizemore, Hector, Felix and Sylvester, and Armistice all being attacked at the end of episode 3 of season 2. By a samurai, so looking forward to seeing how that plays out. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. Boy. Are these the hosts from the lake?
Pulling what we can off the recovered host control units, but what's really unsettling is what's in about a third of them. More like they're virgin, like they never held data to begin with. No user prints or anything.
Is that Teddy? Damn it, Teddy, how'd you die? Ugh. She dodged it?
Tell your associates to set us free. We mean no harm.
See, darling? Everything under control.
I don't think so. It didn't work on the Ghost Nation. Got.
Can't you say something to them? I'm from Hong Kong, asshole.
Oh my god. Right.
It's also why the vocal voodoo didn't work on them. You spoke the wrong language.
Oh. So she can control them, she's just speaking the wrong language? Never heard of a Sotogaru. Oh my god.
It's us.
Whoa.
We're human shields now? Welcome to Shogun World.
Human shields. Holy crap.
数ある藩内の店からわざわざ私を選んで強奪するのかい武蔵
Maeve. Wow. She warned her. Cut it.
恋させるでない。
Nice.
許しなく芸者に触れた男どもは手を飛ばされたのよ
Ah, the safe. Sizemore, this is super lazy. No gun for Maeve to wield.
では、刀を収め、話し合おうか。
妙案ね
似通うところが多いよね。
The place I return to again and again. No matter how far I strayed, something always carried me back.
Did they want to use the train to get
Looks like she's taken some hits the past few days.
get out?
Make a thorough inspection. From the engine to the last axle. Fix what's broke. Strip her for speed.
Know who I don't trust? Him. Say the word and I'll skin him like a rabbit.
What's the matter with you?
Who knows how seeing your own doppelbot is gonna fuck with your cognition? Heightened aggression and suspicion, feedback loops, that.
Our quest, I presume.
そなたは誤解しておるな。将軍様は桜を一生そばに置かれるつもりじゃ。
一生誉れ高き将軍様にお伝えください。桜は売り物ではございません。
Madam Akane, the mere geisha, has no choice but to give up Sakura.
But
これが私の稲でございます。
oh, in the eye.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It's like someone had a choice after all. 連れ出してくれよ。
Ronin.
Yuki no Izumi. Ne, Sakura. Snow Lake is a cornerstone, but it also has an access point back to the tunnels. It's our way out.
So you're not so useless after all.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Remind you of your relationship with anyone? Oh. She sees... Okay, she's the daughter version. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Ah. What? What? She can do it in her mind? Oh, oh no.
We got three. The rest Spanish with Sakura.
You and I spent a lot of time here. Watching the herd. Talking about making a life together. I guess I just wanted to see it one last time.
What if someday was right now?
He doesn't want any more killing. He just wants to
There's
leave.
a fight coming, Dolores. Now you can't tell me that somewhere out there in all that beauty, there isn't a spot for us.
You took one look at you and self-impaled. How did you do that?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
So she's so
Our
dangerous.
transportation is ready. Is that the fucking cavalry?
Great. So much for our rescuers.
Well, that looks important. He just discreetly put it away. Oh. He leaking.
That's cortical fluid. The Shogun's not awake. He's broken.
うちの忍びの者たちがお前らの中に陰陽師がおると申しておった。わしは家臣たちに
Oh man. Holy crap.
後で取引をいたしましょう。桜をお返しください。金に糸目はつけません。
これで
Oh. Take her place.
桜一人ではなく茜お前もわしに待ってみせよさせれば
I'm walking away. Making it on our own. Would you want me to say yes even if I was only going to disappoint you?
I'm not some stranger, Dolores. Coming from outside, looking for a pretty lie. I've known you my whole life.
I mean, I guess his eyes were open when we flashed to the future and he's dead on that pile of bodies. What the fuck? You can be whatever the fuck you want.
この世界では何にでもなれる。
Ooh.
自由。
Was she testing out her new voice just then?
Things are too precious to lose. Even to be free.
For days now, I've been questioning my feelings for you. But tonight I know. It was all true. These past few days, I've seen you so clearly. Christine, you're not gonna make it. And if we're gonna survive, some of us will have to burn.
Wow.
Hold him.
You sure you want this? The change is this extreme. Without a full reset, I can't guarantee that he'll hold together.
Holy crap. Overwrite? Dolores.
一つ物足りん。
What the heck?
約束通り、さくらはお前のものだ。さあ、前へ。
Oh, how sharp is that? Yeah.
Akane, そなたは誠の母親。ありがとう、ミーフ。
Witch!
互いに殺し合え。
Wow, that slow motion blood splatter.
What do we do now?
I told you I found a new voice. Now we use it.
Yeah, this show continues to be very, very good. It's so different from season 1, but really enjoyed that. No, Sakura! So sad. So clearly, the highlight of this episode was getting to see Teddy's butt. Because have you ever seen anything so full of splendor? Okay. We didn't actually see him from the front, or I could have made a joke about, like, doesn't look like anything to me. Anyway, really enjoyed this episode other than that heartbreaking ending. Sakura, no! I was so frustrated that Maeve didn't just, like, cast her witchy magic voodoo spell just, like, 2 minutes earlier. She would have been able to stop it if she had done that. And I don't understand why the Shogun did it. I mean, I don't know why she didn't do it early. I don't know why Maeve didn't try to do that earlier. Was it because the Shogun was in charge and couldn't be changed because he was leaking cortical fluid? But that wouldn't stop the others from being controlled, right? His orders wouldn't override hers. But yeah, Maeve also seems to only be able to use her new voice to get hosts to kill themselves or each other, or that's all she's chosen to do so far. I was like, why don't you amass like a personal army of samurais, ninjas, and whatever else to take on whatever you need to take on. But yeah, that close-up shot with the blood just flying around behind her was kind of amazing, though. I mean, just the slow-mo, the complete calm in her face, knowing that she's in full control. I mean, how many people out there can be in the middle of all that violence and just stay completely stoic? So yeah, A+ on that. There were some events this episode that were kind of predictable, like with Teddy and Dolores. You kind of had this very bad feeling that something bad was going to happen to Teddy. I'm not even sure what exactly it was about the scene that made me think that, though there were a lot of things before it, like Teddy letting those Confederados go, Dolores telling Teddy about burning those with the livestock with the blue tongue. But yeah, something about that scene was just so eerie when she led him into that, I don't know, was it barn? And but yeah, what Dolores actually did with Teddy was horrific. Like, based on their conversation early in the episode, I thought she was actually gonna burn him, like she said her father did to the cattle. Even though we had seen him dead earlier in the episode, dead but intact, somehow I was just like, oh, is she gonna burn him? Which didn't make sense, but yeah, apparently he was found in that lake or inlet. I think it's an inlet, right? It's not. It wasn't surrounded on all sides by land. Inlet could be the right word. But I mean, what she does is so terrifying. What Dolores does, because we've seen multiple times that she values the freedom of hosts. She lets Maeve go. She requests and not orders Bernard to tend to her father. But I mean, when it comes down to it, love can be kind of revealing. She realizes she loves Teddy so truly, and it makes her so desperate to change him, or he won't survive the coming battle, or they might not survive the coming battle. She essentially invades his mind to change his personality. I mean, at that point, is he still even the same same host? What if he helped her win the war, but isn't the same man anymore? She doesn't. I don't know if she cares. And I mean, again, we saw him dead, so it's kind of moot, though. I'm not sure what the limits are of Dolores and the human who was doing her dirty work. I don't know what the limit of theirs are to bringing hosts back to life. But yeah, I had originally speculated that the hosts are still alive in the inlet, like in the water, just waiting to come back to life. But that's not even necessary. They could all legitimately be dead and just be reawoken by Dolores and like set on rampage or do spy work or anything else. The thing is, we've seen them do it in close proximity, but I don't know if she could remotely have that guy turn them back on. And yeah, it was just Teddy can't catch a break. He's just constantly suffering. And another thing that was super clear and obvious to me was that Akane was gonna kill the Shogun with the hidden blade in her. I don't know what you call this. The things. Hair. It's not a hairpin, right? Because hairpin feels wrong because when I think pin, I think something small. But she pulled a whole ass dagger out of it and was able to cut the entire Shogun's head off. I'm surprised that I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Shogun had reduced. What's it called? Maybe he had a slower reaction speed because he was leaking cortical fluid. Because I don't know. It just seemed super obvious that she was gonna attack him and try to kill him. But yeah, it cut all the way around his head. Elsewhere in the episode, Charlotte... Well, she had recovered Peter Abernathy with those Delos soldiers at the Confederado fort. But in the present, Delos doesn't have him anymore, and they're still looking for him in the park. So that opens the possibility that Dolores' plan to use the train to get to him might actually have been successful. Though I guess we don't technically even know if she's alive in the present. That would be a heck of a thing, right? To kill her off like that. But yeah, back in episode 1 of this season, I was thinking that death is permanent now for both the hosts and the humans. But then Dolores killed and brought back those Confederados. So I'm just here like, can we bring back Sakura and Teddy? Because I feel bad for them. I mean, Teddy has died and come back to life so many times. So I fully expect him to come back. But yeah, Dolores's power. I mean, the lab tech guy doing it. Can Felix and Sylvester bring people back online as well? Because then maybe they could bring back Sakura. I'm still feeling bad about that. But yeah, what's interesting is that Maeve and Dolores hold very different skill sets that would have been useful in each other's situations. Dolores could have just brought Sakura back online like she did with the Confederados. Meanwhile, Maeve can get hosts to do basically anything she wants. But she doesn't build an army out of it. And even though Dolores talks about free will, we've seen that when it came to Teddy, she overrode his free will. And so I think if push came to shove, she would use Maeve's power to do whatever she wanted. And that ability would be super, super powerful in her hands, super dangerous. And yeah, there was a scene in the present where they were talking about the cradle. They say that they couldn't recover anything from it, but I don't even know what the cradle is. Given its name, it's meant for like newish hosts to kind of like incubate, or kind of grow up while they're still being built, maybe. Just given the name, the cradle. But in the very next sentence, they say the host's backups were destroyed, so they lost a third of their IP at once. The thing is, who is still going to want to come to these parks after these massacres? They're talking about it as if they want to open up again at some point, but you couldn't pay me to go after an incident like that. Like, there are no reassurances you could give me that would make me okay with going. Granted, they're good at covering their tracks. I mean, people didn't even know who Arnold was. But, like, still. I mean, I know there are other uses for their data, but it seemed like they actually wanted to set up the host to run again like nothing ever happened. Which doesn't seem plausible. And now that I think about it, a third were white as if they were brand spanking new. What if Dolores wiped them so that they could act as cannon fodder? Because after seeing what she did with Teddy, I wouldn't put it past her. And I wonder what reasoning there could be. It's also possible it's Bernard who did something to them, since he did say he's the one who killed them all. What else this episode? There was so much fun stuff this episode. I love the name Shogun World so much more than Samurai World. And it was super fun seeing how similar it was to Westworld. I mean, first I noticed how similar it was that the kids were putting the bug on the guy's head, just like in Westworld they were messing with some guy. And then it just kept going from there. So, freaking Sizemore. Can't he hire a team to help him write these narratives? Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, probably, right? And they just have one guy doing the vast majority of all of the work. Feels... He basically copy-pasted all of Westworld into Google Translate or something, and there we have it, Shogun World. But yeah, Musashi is pretty darn awesome. For personal reasons, I like him a lot too, because I love the name Musashi. I know he was an actual human being, but I know that name. I associate that name with the vastly underrated video game Brave Fencer Musashi. It's still sold like 1 million copies, but it's just not in the public consciousness. You know how some video games just have so much charm? That one has it in spades. Very high on my list of games that I want remasters or remakes of. Or a proper sequel, because the sequel that we did get was straight garbage. Anyway, fond of the name Musashi, and then also very fond of Ronin after reading Rurouni Kenshin when I was younger. That was so good. And so Musashi in Shogun World, immediately very interesting to me. But yeah, super funny that he's Shogun's World's version of Hector. He and that woman with the dragon face tattoo using their captured hosts and humans as shield to pull off that robbery. And as much as I was like, oh my god, dude, Sizemore, you lazy bum, I loved every moment of it. Like, that scene where they were shooting arrows everywhere was great. And then Armistice warns the girl with the dragon tattoo about an attacker from behind. She felt a kinship with her, given how similar they were. Very, very cool to see. Super great moment later, where they were just like staring at each other in amazement. Kind of reminded me of this. And yeah, also super funny how paranoid Hector was about Musashi. He's you. He's basically you. And I wonder if that means he can't really trust himself either. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. But I think I appreciate that Sizemore made them practically the same, because while the show is super serious and the stakes are super high, it's hilarious seeing something so human, just copying, pasting storylines. Yeah, it's a very nice touch that the writers of this show did. Maeve, as I said, learned that new ability, though, to somehow control hosts with her freaking mind. She was in the middle of getting choked out and just suddenly became very calm, and like, I don't know how she came up with that ability, but Sizemore was saying she was speaking the wrong language. Does that mean like literally like she couldn't control the Ghost Nation because she didn't speak the language that the Ghost Nation spoke? And she couldn't control Shogun World because she literally couldn't speak Japanese? Or is it like a different type of language, like a different type of coding? Or, I mean, she winds up talking to them in a language they all understand. I guess it was code or something. But just what is the extent of this? Could she have an effect on Dolores or other fully sentient hosts? Because we haven't seen her do that, I don't think. And the death of that ninja was so brutal, impaling himself. I was in legitimate shock when that happened. And yeah, there were so many... At first I was doubting how much more brutal Shogun World was than Westworld, but that freaking Shogun, upon learning that there was a witch, burns off the ears of everybody. Super unhinged. And again, very frustrated with him killing Sakura. And I'm actually not sure if we're meant to think he did it because he was unhinged or because it was like a power move. I feel like he just wanted to show anybody who knew of him to know. He wanted to show them that he's vengeful and will do anything to hurt you if you disobey him. He wound up getting his head ripped off, cut off. And yeah, after seeing this episode, I kind of really want to see the India world and other versions of our characters. That'd be a lot of fun too. I also want to see Japan's versions, Shogun World's versions of Dolores and Teddy as well, and maybe some other parks as well. That'd be really fun. And yeah, this episode had some really great moments. Freaking Sylvester asking Felix, "Could you just talk to these people?" And Felix saying, "I'm from Hong Kong, you asshole." So funny. Felix is a gem. I will legitimately be so angry if he dies. It'd be also super funny if Felix is the final twist in this series. Like, we jump into the future and there's like this Asian man in black and he does like morally repugnant things, and then at the end of the season we find out it's Felix. No. Clementine this episode, who seemed to be like a dead host walking like an almost zombie like creature, seeing the new program Clementine, that was heartbreaking. You could tell there was more in there, whereas in the past few episodes it felt like she was not all there anymore. But yeah, I don't know, I can see people who love the first season might not be totally as satisfied with this one, but I like it just for different reasons, and I'm enjoying it a lot. I thought episodes 1 and 3 were kind of weak, but 2, 4, and 5 of this season have been really, really fun. Again, it's not the same fun as the way season 1 was, but still really enjoyable. So I'm going to give this episode a 9.5, which actually makes it my favorite episode of the season so far. It was just a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction to it. Leave a like, really, really helps with the channel. And yeah, subscribe. We're going to keep going with this. We've got a lot more shows and episodes and movies we're doing. So yeah, if you want to watch the full reaction or episodes a week early, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.